Mr. Bowtie's Texas High School Sports Machine is driven by Henry Finley and McCombs Ford West, a proud supporter of all area local sports. McCombs Ford West, simply the best. Hey folks, Mr. Bowtie here. Keep banging home that red subscribe button on your screen so that way you can stay up to date on all the great local sports coverage that TV and radio refuse to cover. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Mr. Bowtie 1982. It's fun, it's free, and it's safe for the environment. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. College basketball season is winding down, which means the NBA playoffs will be coming up real soon. The Spurs not looking like they're going to make the field this year, but you never know what could happen. And then after that will come the NBA draft in the early part of summer. And among those that will be in the draft is San Antonio Wagner alum, Texas Tech basketball player Kevin McCullar. Kevin having a great career at Tech. He's still got a couple years left of eligibility, but he's going to test the waters of the NBA, and Kevin has kindly joined us for a few minutes of his busy time. And Kevin, first off, congratulations on the declaration.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Still have a couple years left of eligibility, and I know things have changed with how name, image, and likeness have come along. We'll get to that later, but what made you decide to declare for the NBA draft?
Just the feedback that I was hearing, talking with my family and friends, and just praying about it. We felt just it was the best interest for me to go ahead and test the waters of the NBA.
And again, we'll get to NIL in a little while, but how much has did NIL, if any, the name, image, and likeness affect the decision now that athletes are getting paid? Did that have much influence, or was it, hey, I'm still going to go in and test the waters?
No, I didn't have much influence at all. I was just, chasing my ultimate dream goal, which is to play in the NBA.
You played at the vaunted Wagner High, which has already turned out NBA and WNBA stars Andre Robertson, Jordan Clarkson, Kiana Williams, among others. What made you make that decision that, hey, I want to see if the NBA will work? And I guess maybe coming from that basketball factory of Wagner High.
Just the work that I put in, here at Texas Tech, going on my 3 years here that I've been here, and just the feedback that I've been receiving and stuff. And, talking, like, once again, just talking with my family, knowing, I still have my eligibility open, but wanted to go out here and work out in front of some teams and, and test the waters of the NBA.
Now, we saw this last year with Jordan Burns, another San Antonio native, played at Marshall High, rewrote the record books at Colgate. Went into the NBA draft, didn't get picked. He was in the developmental league. Now he's overseas. Have you reached out to Jordan or any of the guys from San Antonio about the process and trying to figure out how it works, as well as what happens if you don't get picked?
Yeah, I talk to Jordan, quite often, but I haven't really talked to him about, this situation yet. I'll probably reach out to him here in the future. I'm gonna go work out for it, this whole month of April, just get my body right, get my mind right, and eat right and stuff like that. And then, I'll start reaching out to some guys and kind of getting some insight and info on, what to expect working out for some teams.
For those who maybe don't get a chance to see that side of everything, what is that like when you're going for a college basketball player, when you're finishing up your season and then already starting those workouts and trying to get prepared for the pro levels?
It happens quick. We were just, playing and working for a national championship, and now I'm going to the professional side of things. So, it happens pretty quick. And now I'm just locked in on, myself and just getting my body right and, doing the little things, take my game to the next level. And just getting ready to be a professional.
Texas Tech had a great season, first year under Mark Adams after Chris Beard was there for several years. Adams elevated up to the head coaching job when Beard went to Texas. They ended up in the third round, Texas Tech did, before losing to Mike Krzyzewski and Duke in the Mike Krzyzewski farewell tour. I want to ask you about what that was like, though, having to go through that, because, again, Krzyzewski is kind of considered the greatest basketball coach in our era, and that game had to have been just so tough because not only the pressure of Tech trying to beat Duke, but Duke trying to keep the Krzyzewski farewell tour going.
Oh, yeah, it was a big game. We really didn't try to think too much into that. We just had to, kind of lock in and know that, we were just playing a really good Duke team, and it was to make it to the Elite Eight. And it was a game of runs. And, late, it was tied up, but they hit some big shots late. They ended up winning the game. But it was a great experience, and it was a fun time being in March Madness.
What was the difference going from Chris Beard to Mark Adams? I know Adams won a national title in junior college. Beard had a lot of success at Little Rock. He got Texas at 22 wins. Of course, you guys finished ahead of them in the standings. What was the big adjustment going from Beard to Adams?
It really wasn't too much of an adjustment since I've already played for Coach Adams, him being the assistant coach here. And, it wasn't too big of a adjustment. I just, really like Coach Adams, and I appreciate everything that he did. And, that's why my ultimate decision was to stay at Texas Tech. So, I had nothing, it was a great year. So we competed well, and we did a lot more than a lot of people thought we would do.
We know Lubbock and the Panhandle going up to Amarillo is really the heart of Texas basketball, especially on the high school level. How much did you notice a difference in the intensity, the fan base, and all that being in the Panhandle versus playing high school ball here in San Antonio?
Up here in West Texas, the fan base is crazy. They support you through good and bad times. They're a rowdy crowd, and playing at the United Supermarkets Arena, it was packed every night, even on games that weren't the biggest games. That people still came out and supported us. So it was great. Being out here and playing out here, and I'm 6 hours away from home, so I'm not too far. But just enough, to come out here to college and compete in front of Red Raider Nation.
You and I both have one thing in common, and that is Mark Adams. You played for him at Texas Tech. I was his radio voice at Howard College down in Big Spring, about an hour and a half south of Lubbock on Highway 87. So I got to ride the little bus, so to speak, to all the glamorous places in JUCO, Odessa, Midland, out to Hobbs, New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell. And I learned so much from Adams on those bus rides. Now, of course, you didn't have to take a bus. You got to fly. What did you learn on those trips from a guy like Coach Adams? Hopefully some of the stuff that I got to learn from him in JUCO back in the day.
Just his wisdom and his love for the game. He just preached to us, the hardest team was going to win, every night. And, it became true. Our whole team, we all bought into that, and we wanted to be the hardest, toughest playing team out there every night. And it helped us win games.
Of course, the NBA draft is still a few months away. I know every prospect, whether it's the NFL, NBA, or whatever, is just happy to get picked. At the same time, is there a team out there, or what kind of style?
No certain team or anything that I would want to, get picked specifically. It's really wherever I can get in and I can, fit in and help winning. I feel like that's a big part of my game, is just playing tough and hard. And, wherever I can get in and play to help fit in and win games, that would be a blessing. Of course, playing back home would be crazy. That would be a surreal moment, playing for like the Spurs or something like that. But, anywhere I can get in and fit in and, just impact winning and just showcase my abilities.
Now, you still have the ability, I think, to pull out. I think he said May 1st is the deadline. I forgot what the rules were about agents signing, or if anything has changed in the name, image, and likeness era.
So I still got 2 years of eligibility left. You can always come out to college if you sign with an NCAA certified agent. So, that's a big part of it too. So, going to test the waters and get some feedback. And then if you ever need to come out to college, you still have that in your back pocket.
Name, image, and likeness we've hinted at a little bit. This is the first athletic year for all athletes to go through that. What was it like for you as an athlete going through these changes? We've talked to athletes about what it was going to be like, but now you've gone through it. What is it like for you and your other peers that at Tech and at other schools?
Yeah, it was very different. My first years in college, it was, just a normal college year, but this year is kind of different with, doing deals here and there and actually making, some money, and you can actually make some money to give back to people and different things like that. So in a way, it kind of, gets you ready for a professional standpoint, being able to use your name to market yourself and build a brand. So it was actually pretty cool.
How do you think NIL is going to change things? Again, you actually have experience, so at least you've gone through it. Do you see it having more athletes staying in school now that they can make money? Do you think we're going to see more parity? Do you think the bigger schools in different sports are going to be able to bring in more players. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think it's going to change even more and more from year to year. I think it'll just have it's just going to make the college world crazy. It's pretty much going to turn into a professional business even more, and it's definitely taking over the game right now.
Kevin McCullar, San Antonio Wagner alum, Texas Tech basketball star, at least going to test the waters of the NBA draft, which will be coming up in June. Kevin, we obviously wish you the best of luck, whether you stay in the draft and get picked, or if you end up back at Tech. There's really no bad option out of any of those. Thank you so much for the time. It's going to be so much fun to keep an eye on your progress.
Thank you. I appreciate you.